In today's daily analysis video, I'll be walking you through the Forex Factory, what to expect fundamentally for the day, for your London and your New York sessions, and also what to expect technically on the charts using TradingView. And I'll be walking you through the Forex pairs and gold that I personally will be trading, right? With that being said, all this is my own trading plan and definitely not financial advice. So always do your own due diligence. But yeah, we get on with the video. Alrighty, so what you can see is we have PPI news today, which is kind of big for USD at 6 p.m. IST today, and you can see the forecasted and the previous data. What it suggests is that USD is going to get stronger. I feel it's going to be mixed, where it's going to be somewhere neutral to stronger. All right, so I personally feel USD is going to be stronger, so that means gold sell today for your news time. All right. Now we go into the charts. So these are the Forex pairs that I will be walking you through. If this is any of the pairs that you personally trade, always look out for these zones or try to understand my zones and, and take away a few things for your own personal trading. That's what I would say. We will, of course, start off with gold. So on the 4 hours, so this is the 4 hours chart. You can see price has slowly come down, right? Leaving all these imbalances. The first imbalance is filled, and now there's a second imbalance up here that I am sort of targeting for, right? Gold is in a place where you can't really predict whether it's a buy or whether it's a sell, but you still gotta trade, right? So if we were to take this as, a 4 hour zone, so you have this, and then this, so this is your change of character. Price has given us a change of character and also given us a BOS. So in that sort of way, I'm actually targeting some buys for today, right? Some buys for today, all the way up until this 5,000 region where price fills up all this, imbalance up here. So that is my plan. Now coming down into your 1 hour, so you can see that. So this is the zone that I drew last week, and we can see that price has respected that zone properly and given us, a proper move upwards. But from what I can see, price might come back, retrace, and then go back up. We can see this is a good inducement. Price comes back into this golden region, into the OTE, and then we can see some price up. This is my plan for today. I'll show you the 30-minute zone. So on the 30-minute zone, you have an imbalance to fill, and we have a clean order block, and we have price giving us a good inducement. If we see this move, then I will target some buys, but if not, then we'll have to wait for price to come all the way up, take away, previous week's high, and also come into that 5,000 region that I mentioned way earlier, right? Coming into NZDUSD. So NZDUSD again, it's pretty simple for NZDUSD. So we are on a downtrend, right? Prices. So this was the last trend. This is a change of character. This was BOS. And then, so this was your change of character, right? So price is given us a change of character. So what we expect is eventually price to retrace into somewhere around OTE and then come back down. But for that to happen, price has to first come up into the equilibrium, right? So I've drawn out that line. I hope you guys can see that. Price has to come into equilibrium and into the discount region. So price is struggling to do that right now. Whereas in your AUDUSD, I will show you right after this chart, price has already come into an OTE region. So it is kind of a little bit risky, and I'm not able to clearly tell you the trend because these are supposed to be correlated pairs. So if they move in the same direction, it should be good for us, right? But that being said, let's just take this as your 4 hour zone, right? So price coming down. So this is your change. This is your BOS, and now what have we got here? We got a change and we got a BOS. So I am targeting another BOS right here, all the way up until this equilibrium region, right? So if price comes all the way up here today, then without giving a retracement, right? If price comes all the way up here today without giving a retracement, then I would skip this NZDUSD completely. But if price comes retraces, then we can target all the way up until this equilibrium region, because after that the primary focus for NZDUSD should be shifting into sells from that region, right? So let me go into the 1 hour, show you the 1 hour zone. So price currently, I'm not sure what's happening here, but price currently looks like it's made an equal high. So maybe we can see price come up, sweep the previous week's high and previous day's high, which is in the same region, and then give a huge push down. In that case, if that happens, so this is scenario number 1, right? If price just retraces, goes back up. But in scenario number 2, if we can see price go all the way up here, sweep this region, right? Sweep, and then give us a huge push down, then we can target some sells too from this region, right? From wherever we got the push down, the sweep down, we can target some sells too. So this is idea number 2. And the third one is, of course, if price goes all the way up here, then we are instantly going to be looking at sells. So this is idea number 3. Very clear, very simple. All right, now we come into AUDUSD. So AUDUSD, similarly, we have given a change of character, right? We have given a change of character. Price has given us a change of character. You can see the last BOS right here, BOS, change of character. So, but look at AUDUSD, you just saw NZDUSD, price has not even come up into the equilibrium zone, but your AUDUSD, it is perfectly in OTE region right now, right? Perfectly in the OTE region, but not able to find a good zone for it to sell, and price has swept previous, price has also swept previous week's high, but I haven't got the reaction that I required, right? So usually I would go for a retest of these zones. If price, takes it out and then gives us the impulsive move somewhere around this region, trying to fill this imbalance, then in that case I would target some sells from this region. That means the sellers are there. There's a lot of selling pressure around that region. That's what you call a retest of price. But now coming on to the 4-hour zone. So since this area is not that clear, right? We don't have perfect imbalances to fill. I'm going to be taking this 4-hour zone up here. I'm going to be targeting this 4-hour zone up here. So like price will come to sweep this liquidity. By then, I hope even NZDUSD comes into equilibrium region, and then both of them shifting in the same direction on the 15 minutes down. So that is something that I'm looking forward to today. So we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think you should follow this. Even if price goes all somewhere here and then comes back down, I don't think you should follow this. Rather, I would prefer NZDUSD doing that. If price sweeps this region, even goes into equilibrium and then comes down on the NZD, then that is the perfect setup for today. Coming into GBPUSD, GBPUSD is a little bit more unclear, or like a little bit confusing rather than your EURUSD. So you can see that price has been coming down for quite a few times, right? So price has given us a definitive CHOCH for the upside. But that being said, we are on an overall sell trend, right? We are on an overall sell trend. So what that means is price is a little bit confusing because it can come up until this region, fill these imbalances right here, and then give us the huge push down. So that is something to notice. But since price has given us a change of character, let's clearly just focus on some buys, right? So before this, I had drawn the fib for this zone right here, but price has given us another, not only a change of character, but price has given us a BOS as well. So now I've shifted the fib to just this swing alone, right? That is it pretty much. So we'll have to wait. There is literally no liquidity for this zone right now. We'll have to wait for the day, maybe see some moves throughout your London, maybe your New York, price coming down into this zone, and then we can look for some buys if price gives us good liquidity, right? So this is, again, a little bit confusing on the GBP, but try to make it as simple as I can, right? Coming into EURUSD. EURUSD is quite interesting because we had the major CHOCH after quite a few months, like from last November. You can see that and now price is coming up into OTE region of your Euro USD, and we also have previous month's high resting right below that 4-hour zone. So Euro USD sell is looking good so far. So what price basically is doing is filling this imbalance, that impulsive move down, all that orders. Price is collecting this imbalance, sweeps previous month's high, taps into the 4-hour zone, and then I'm looking for some beautiful sells. I am waiting for this setup for today. Even though price has shifted on your daily, even on the daily, price has shifted, right? So this was your change of character, price has shifted up, but on the overall trend of things, we are on a huge sell, right? So now coming into the 4-hours, let me try to give you a picture of this zone right here, right? So yeah, you can see that price is trying to fill this imbalance right now. We have previous month's high resting right below the zone. Price is perfectly coming up onto this. We have past equilibrium. This line right here is the equilibrium. Hopefully, if we come, even if price sweeps this, then also we can still continue to see sells. That is my plan. I wanted to take some buys along this region, but price has now come into discount region, right? This entire area is discount region, so you don't want to be risking some buys, like I told you. So price has come above equilibrium, and now we are into the discount region, so we don't want to be looking into some buys around this region. We should be looking for some sells around this region all the time. So we'll have to wait for this zone. This is a highly probable zone for today, so look out for this one, right? Coming into USDJPY, we are on a huge buy, but on the smaller time frames things are looking otherwise. So on the daily we can see that we are on a huge buy, right? But on the smaller time frames we can see that price is giving us a change of character. So I'm expecting price to come back down somewhere around this region at least before coming back up. But something to notice is that this is the zone that I drew last week, and price has completely respected that zone. So I'm using the same logic and hoping for a retest and then coming back down. That's pretty much it. That is the entire logic and entire idea, right? So this was Monday opening. You can see the gap up opening price, but still price respected this 1-hour zone. Why I'm focusing on this zone is just look at the liquidity. It's perfect trendline liquidity. So focusing on this liquidity to be fully grabbed, or at least somewhere around this region, like halfway. So I'll be focusing on this up until that region. So I've just taken another 1-hour zone. I've drawn a Fibonacci because we've got a change of character right here, right? We've got a change of character, so this is the one swing. So I've taken this entire zone as the Fibonacci zone. So this zone is a little bit big, so focus on some 15-minute change of characters. We'll wait for this one. We'll have to wait for liquidity to be created. We'll be having to wait for liquidity to be created, and then we will focus on some buys. But now let's come on to EURUSD. Is quite interesting because let me show you. So EURUSD, huge sell. Okay, sell. This is probably the region. So price wicked this zone. So I'm not quite sure if we have shifted completely to the buy or we are still into sells. So that is something to clearly notice. So we are completely going to be trading this off of the smaller time frames. All right. So the smaller time frames says we have given us the huge push up, right? So now price has given us a change of character, and the price has also given us break of structure, and hopefully we get another push down. So this 4-hour zone is something that I marked last week in last week's analysis videos, and price has perfectly respected that zone. And now we're just going to follow through with the same idea, give us a retracement and then push down. So this zone looks pretty good so far. This first 30-minute zone looks very good, right? It's not only halfway somewhere around OTE region, but also we have the beautiful inducement. We have the 2 swing setup, right? Let me make it a little bit more clear. We have the two swings set up, and this swing acts as your inducement, resting right below the 30-minute zone. But don't worry, if this still fails, I am still going to be targeting some sells around the next 30-minute order block. Let me go into the 30 minutes so you guys can see it very clearly. I will still be targeting this 30-minute order block for some sells. Finally, ending the analysis with USDCAD. It's been a long video. Have to make sure everyone's trading right? So we have USDCAD. Price has given us the change of character, so we are pushing up for some buys. So, but I am targeting on the smaller time frames, I'm targeting sells around this region all the way until equilibrium, right? So if price comes all the way back into equilibrium, then all of these sell ideas go out of the window and we skip the plan. It's making it that simple. So on the 4 hours, we can see that price has given us a change of character and also a break of structure, right? So this is your change of character. Price has given us a break of structure, even another break of structure. Perfect. And this was the 1 hour zone that I drew last week in last week's analysis, and price hasn't exactly tapped the zone, but again, you can say that price has respected the zone because you can see the huge push down. So we are just following up with the same trade idea. So I'm considering this as your new swing. That's why I've drawn the new Fibonacci, and again taken a 1 hour zone around the OTE and above equilibrium region. But this is a fresh zone and there's only imbalances to be filled, so price has to slowly come up today, give us good liquidity, and then only we can target this. And yeah, so today's trading plan is pretty clear, I hope. If you guys have any doubts, any other trade ideas in the same pairs that I trade, do drop in the comment section below. I will definitely read through all of them. And yeah, do subscribe if you want to see some more daily analysis which helps you with your trading and I personally use, and you can see the results for yourself. The playlist will come right below this video right here. And yeah, that's about it, and I'll catch you in the next one.